This is a story of Roly Poly caterpillar. Now, who's this Roly Poly caterpillar? You see his face? Is he sad or happy? Look at his face. Isn't he sad? And why is he sad? You see his color? It's green. And this caterpillar, he stays on the leaf or in the grass, and the grass is also green, isn't it? So, he's very sad because he always says, nobody looks at me. I'm green. Grass is also green. I don't like my green color. But then he always boosts himself. And so he sings a song. Roly Poly caterpillar, Roly Poly caterpillar, Roly Poly caterpillar went through the grass one day. Went through the grass one day. And as he was singing to himself, someone comes along, and that is putak, 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 putak. Can you see? Yes, it's a ladybug. You're right. The ladybug, as you can see, has a red coat with nice black beauty spots. But she's very proud because she can be seen. And everyone say, oh ladybug, you are so beautiful. So there she comes and looks at the caterpillar and she says, hey, you are so green. Nobody can see you. Look at me. I am so beautiful. Move ya. I have to go. You're always crying. Putak, 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 putak. Ha! She says that and she goes away. And now the caterpillar is even more sad because you know that ladybug, she mocked at her, isn't it? And so the caterpillar again says, I'm green. I know that the grass is also green and nobody looks at me. Nobody knows who I am. But then he also remembers his song. Roly Poly caterpillar, Roly Poly caterpillar, Roly Poly caterpillar went through the grass one day. Went through the grass one day. He was feeling so sad. But there was someone who came from the mud below. கண்ணே கலைமானே தனிமயிலென கண்டேன் உன்னை நானே அந்திப்பகல் உன்னை நான் பார்க்கிறேன் ஆண்டவனை இதைத்தான் கேட்கிறேன் ராரிராரோ ஓ ராரிரோ ராரிராரோ ஓ ராரிரோ. And the caterpillar is very happy and looks at the snail who's carrying his house on his back. And you see, he tells the caterpillar, why are you so sad? You are so beautiful. I like your green color, you know. No, but I'm green and the grass is green. Oh, don't cry. Everyone is beautiful in our own way, isn't it? Don't worry. Mm-mm. You will say this because you carry your house on your back. Everybody can see, you see. You're not green. No, but I'm very, very, very slow. And each one of us have a weakness and strength. So don't worry. Kanne kalemane tanimailena kandenu nane. La 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 la. And the snail disappeared into the mud. For some time, the caterpillar was happy. But then someone came, one little boy, running through the grass and went on his tail. And the tail went pachak. Ah! Oh, nobody looks at me. I'm green and the grass is also green. I don't like my green color. Roly Poly caterpillar. Roly Poly caterpillar. Roly Poly caterpillar went through the grass one day. Went through the grass one day. And as he rolled, he didn't notice there was a young snake which was just born and when zip and zip and said, shh, keep quiet. You are disturbing the environment. For some time, the caterpillar was very, very sad. And he was frightened. And he said, Roly Poly caterpillar. Roly Poly caterpillar. Roly Poly caterpillar went through the grass one day. Went through the grass one day. Zzz, I'm busy. Move ya. Every time cribbing, always crying. Zzz, zzz. The busy bee. Roly Poly looked. Oh, you have such lovely silver wings. Yellow color, stripes. Everyone can see you, but nobody can see me. Zzz, and the bee flew away. And the caterpillar, he thought of all his friends. Ladybug, snail, the little snake, and the busy bee. But I'm green. Grass is also green. I don't like my green color. And he began to cry. And then, you know what he did? He pulled his sticky tears. There were strings coming out. And slowly and slowly and slowly, he pulled the strings. White, 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 white. And then he built. Yes, he put it around him. White, and white, and white, What? 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 What was he building? Yeah, he was building a cocoon. And he went inside his cocoon. Inside, 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 inside. And he stayed there. And you know how long he stayed there? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. For 21 days, our friend Roly Poly stayed inside like a very good boy. But like all children, you all get bored, isn't it? So this Roly Poly also got bored. And he said, it's so boring. To sit inside, it's so boring. And slowly, he broke that cocoon. And he came out. And he was very happy to see the outside world. And of course, he came out as a beautiful butterfly. You see? But then Roly Poly didn't know that he had become this butterfly. And he was flying and he was thinking, I'm looking so different, I think. I'm feeling so different. And at that time, the first friend, who was that? Yes, the ladybug came and she came, putuk, 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 putuk. She looked at the butterfly and she said, and she went away. And then the snail came and he came singing his song. And then, la, 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 la. Wow, you are so beautiful. But you always say that. You are so beautiful. And then that snake, which told Roly Poly to keep quiet, slipped slowly through the grass and didn't say anything. And of course, that bee came zip, 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 and saw the butterfly and said, and flew away. And now Roly Poly was wondering why everyone is just looking at me. I better see myself. I think I've changed. And so he went to a lake. And in that lake, he saw his reflection. And he said, Ayya! Wow! I've become a butterfly! And I'm no longer green. And from that day, Roly Poly never cried or sang his song. Roly Poly caterpillar, Roly Poly caterpillar, Roly Poly caterpillar went through the grass one day. Instead, he sang, I flit, I float, I fleety flee, I fly, I love my colors, I'm a beautiful, I'm so beautiful, isn't it? But yes, I was also beautiful when I was a caterpillar, because it's from the caterpillar that I got transformed into a butterfly. Yay! And that's how the caterpillar, as you all see, became a butterfly. So all of you heard the story of Roly Poly caterpillar, isn't it? Well, it seems entertaining. the child will be listening with a lot of awe, and they'll be looking at the colors and the stick puppets and feeling the emotions of the story. Well, that might be the first value that you can give the child, because the child is going to identify with the caterpillar and feel the same way, don't we? Because all stories, most of them, is meant for us to feel, to see why do I like a story? Because I identify a certain part of me with that story. Especially in the foundation stage for children, I think it's very, 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 very important. So for a child, he'll be looking up and he's raw. I mean, his heart is so open. He's going to feel for that caterpillar. And he'll be very happy that the caterpillar became a butterfly. And within himself or herself, she will have the hope that she's not going to be mocked or bullied for whatever color she is. Because we have a lot of things, we call it also inclusiveness, because we need to accept that black or white, brown skin, anything is fine. And the child will feel extremely happy. That would be the first value that the child will take when listening to this story. Now, the child is not too strategic, but then we can re-infuse in him a lot of values. So one is this, which he naturally feels. The second thing, he would have noticed the colors. The green, which was very predominant, the color of the red and the black. And so he identifies colors, isn't it? For EVS, if you want to take, there's a lot of colors involved and also objects. So if you want to take language, we talk of nouns. Now nobody talks about nouns, but naming objects. So when you look at EVS, you can look at colors. When you look at EVS, you can also look at, the literacy part, which is integrated with this EVS, which is how the caterpillar transforms into a butterfly. Now, for a little child, transformation may be a big word, but I think he would kind of understand it when you use that word in the story. So if you look at literacy, we can subtly use the right words in the right order. When the child listens to a word, they pick it up. When they listen to the pronunciation of the word, they pick it up. The phonetic sounds of the word, yes, he picks it up. So now they will know how to pronounce a word when you tell a story. As they are identifying with the nouns or the objects, they also learn the pronunciation and how to retain it in their minds. Now, already the child would have this story in his head. And then in the middle, of course, if you involve them, and all of them would have said together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they are counting. So if you see maths, counting is probably the first lesson in math, and the child will learn to count. Of course, in olden times, we used to use the fingers. We could still use that. We can use the sticks to, ask him to just draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 till 21. He also learns that cocoon that the caterpillar stays is for 21 days. Odd numbers, even numbers. What are the odd numbers? What are the even numbers? So very plain and simple. Even if you take 2 tributaries for each of these concepts, you can just teach them 2, 3 things, but teach them well so that it stays in their mind. And why are we doing all this? Because it's what we call as storifying the syllabus, or storification, which is the new pedagogy of learning. And that is what we at Kathalaya International Schools or Kathalaya Kids are coming out with, which is storifying the entire concept. It is not storification versus education, but storification, which is going to handhold and see if education can be transformed and transmitted to a simple process called storification. This story is the simplest one, which can be told to any level. Even at higher levels, you can go with it. And basically, it starts with another the main thing is who am I, which is almost the first lesson that the child learns. Who am I? And so it questions their identity. When a child is listening to the story, he will be also feeling that story, as I told you, and emotions play a great part, and expressions. So the expression of how the caterpillar felt, as you saw, it's a sad face and the happy face, and the haughty ladybug. So when you want to draw, say, the ladybug, he will probably have a very haughty expression. And if you want to look at the snail, is a very compassionate person. So those expressions can be brought out. Children again identify with not only the values like compassion and sadness and happiness, but they also will probably have the facial expressions, because most children emote. So when they listen to a story like this, they will go home and emote it and use the same expressions. So it highlights expressions. And then if you saw, it is like what we call as an associated tale, which means what comes first, second. So the sequencing can be taught. Even the caterpillar's body, if you see, there are rounds and circles, and how many circles. You can ask the child to count, because now he'll be ready to count. So sequencing can be what comes after what. Who's the first character who came? Who's the third character that came? So again, maths. And who came before and who came after? Did the caterpillar come first, or the snail came first? Did the snail come first, or the snake came first? You can ask the child which came first, which came later. So first, last, later, before, after, and lots of things. One can come with sounds of, though I didn't use many sounds in this, but you can also ask the child if you want to bring the sound of an insect, like the busy bee, and the snake slipped through the grass. So you can have them to phonetically and use that s and z. So, clarity of voice, pronunciations, phonetics, well, lots and lots. There's nothing that you can't do without from a story. Almost anything can be connected to a story.